Welcome, everyone. Hope you're getting to enjoy the sunshine and finding some shade at the same time. Hmm. Let's just start out with some deep breaths. If you'd like to make eye contact, I'm going to look right at my camera. Again, the invitation is to make sound if you can or want to on the out breath. Really inviting yourself to fully land in the moment. If you want to make eye contact and connect. If not, that's totally okay. You can close your eyes, breathing in, ah, filling up the lungs and the belly with each breath. Ah, ah, ah. And let's just begin and land, finding your most comfortable posture today, listening to your body, sitting, standing, lying down, whatever is best for you today. Noticing whether it feels right to keep your eyes open, allowing, if it feels comfortable, the gaze to be soft and downwards, looking at something neutral, or allowing the eyes to close if that feels good today. Beginning by simply noticing your environment right now, noticing what's around you. It could include sounds. If your eyes are open, colors, shapes, objects. Noticing what your environment feels like when it contacts your body. Is it soft? Is it hard? Is there texture? Whether you're outside or inside, noticing the temperature of the air on your skin. Noticing if there's any movement of air in your environment. Noticing if there's some way you could be a little bit more comfortable. If you're inside and the air conditioning's on and you're feeling a little chilly, maybe grabbing a blanket. If you're sitting up and you're noticing that your back is really hurting today, maybe laying down. Seeing if you can really accommodate and nurture this body of yours. Not that we can have everything be perfect and painless, certainly not. Seeing if there are any adjustments in posture or environment that would help you be more at ease. That might even involve moving your body a little bit, stretching maybe, And then settling again, coming to a place of stillness once you're ready. And just noticing if there are things in the environment or in your body that maybe don't feel quite right and you're wanting to shift or move. If you've already shifted or moved and tried to be more comfortable, and then just seeing if, without a hardness or a forcing, just seeing if you can land right here in this body, in this environment, just as it is, knowing that nothing's ever perfect, and seeing if you can just welcome the body and the environment as it is, and noticing if there's resistance, noticing if there are sounds that are bothering you, or things in your body, or anything else in your environment. It's not about being stoic, it's more about seeing if you can welcome the way it is right now. This practice is so important for our lives because we, so much of the time, are creating our own suffering, trying to make things different than they are, trying to escape our current reality. If only this, if only my partner was this way, I'd be happy. If only my job was this. If only the weather were cooler. The mind is constantly coming up with ways that, if only this, that, or the other thing, then we could be happy, then we could be content. So, this practice that I'm inviting you into is about practicing noticing and welcoming things just as they are, even judgment or resistance or wanting it to be different. So we're not even going to leave those things out. We're going to welcome that too. Oh, I'm noticing I'm too hot. Or I'm noticing I'm on a bit of a slant right now. I don't like it. Whatever it is for you, seeing if you can just notice any moving towards or pushing away or boredom, and just noticing it as part of being human, and seeing if you can notice how the mind wants to perseverate and ruminate on how to make things better, how to change them. And there is a place for changing things and making things better. And there's also the practice of practicing allowing. So that will be our practice today. Noticing, welcoming, and allowing. The mind wants to make problems of things and find solutions all the time. It's doing it all the time in the background. And that's not wrong, but it creates a lot of pain and suffering. So, just for this next little bit of time that we're meditating together, seeing if you can notice your own mind, notice what it's doing, be gentle and kind with it, invite in even these thoughts, even the resistance. Returning your awareness again to the environment, to the sounds, especially. Just tuning in to sound, maybe sound that you're hearing through my voice or the background sounds of birds, sounds in your own environment, sounds in your body, maybe. Noticing if you like some of the sounds and you don't like some of the other sounds, and just letting that be. And if there's a sound that you're finding a lot of aversion towards or dislike towards, actually tuning in and listening to it, seeing if you can listen with curiosity and noticing what happens in the body when you bring curiosity and even more focus and attention to something that maybe at first you were wanting to push away. Maybe that's not happening for you. If that's the case, just stay in the practice of noticing sound. Shifting your awareness now to the body, noticing how you're positioned, noticing pressure, noticing where the body is contacting itself, noticing areas of ease in the body, noticing if there are any areas of discomfort or contraction, tightness, and seeing if there's resistance or holding or clenching against. And again, the invitation is the same. See if you can welcome in and allow, and maybe if there's aversion or clenching against, even seeing if you can turn towards, lean into a little bit more, bring a curiosity to that part of your body. If it's possible, maybe even placing a hand on that part of your body. Bringing this loving, welcoming, allowing to however your body is today, exactly as it is, noticing the desire to fix or change or be different. And again, welcoming that in as well. So, spending some time with your body, with the internal and surface sensations, whatever is alive, whatever draws your attention, and really being in the practice of seeing if you notice that you're disallowing something, seeing if you can turn towards it, open a little bit more to it. If something feels challenging, using your own touch and your own breath to touch a difficult place in the body or to breathe into maybe something you're avoiding, giving it more space, giving it more room, bringing curiosity, witnessing. So staying with the body the next little bit here, seeing if you can really welcome it as it is. Shifting your awareness now to emotions. This might come as words to you, sadness, anger, happiness. See if you can feel the emotions in the body, noticing what's showing up in the body. Might be subtle, might be big, might be confusing. There may be many things going on for you. And rather than trying to tease apart or figure out or name, seeing if you can allow your emotional landscape to be just as it is. So there's no intervention required. Again, it's just sitting back and noticing, oh, this is how it is today. And again, just like with the sounds and the body, seeing if you can lean in a little bit to whatever's here, whatever it is. There are so many emotions that we disallow, repress, shut out. So seeing if you can invite them to reveal themselves. And see if you can be with whatever's here with a lot of kindness, a lot of tenderness, noticing if the mind wants to judge or criticize a certain emotion, noticing there's a pushing away. And just like with the body and the sounds, seeing if there is judgment or aversion or pushing away, actually seeing if you can move a little bit towards, get curious about, and I don't mean figure it out, I mean notice the nuances. Like, say you're feeling, right now, I'm noticing this very subtle tightness in my throat. When I get curious about that, I'm watching and feeling that subtle tightness contract, loosen, move, stay. So, for the guidance of the meditation, I'm using words because that's how we convey things to each other. But in your inner experience, there doesn't even need to be words. You can just lean into the inner emotional landscape exactly as it is. And I want to include boredom and numbness and repression. So if there's a sense of blocking something, see if you can just be with that. Be with the sense of like, oh yeah, I am blocking something. I don't even know what it is. See if you can be with that with openness and tenderness, really just letting yourself be in a place of I'm blocking something, feeling scared to feel something. Can I let that be okay? Can I let that just be my experience right now without trying to force it to change? Really meeting yourself exactly where you are at right now, today, in this moment, meeting your emotional landscape just as it is. So we'll practice in this way for the next several minutes with our emotions. And again, the invitation is if you notice aversion, you can use touch to bring even more kindness to yourself if that helps, more allowing. You can use the breath to breathe into an emotion, to give it more space, to give it more tenderness. If there's a lack of emotion, inviting that in, being with the sensation of lack of emotion. It's not wrong, it's all welcome. If you're noticing a lack of emotion or a numbness, particularly tuning into the throat and the heart and the belly, just noticing if there's any subtle sensations in that area. We're not trying to create anything or manufacture anything, but just seeing if there are subtle sensations in those energy centers. And then shifting your awareness slowly to the level of mind, of thinking, beliefs, perceptions, stories, judgments. And just like with all the other categories, seeing if you can let your mind just be as it is today, whether it's slow or busy, lots of thoughts, not so many, moderate amount of thinking. And the invitation is that rather than getting engaged in the stories, seeing if you can watch them, notice them. And thoughts can be tricky because they're alluring sometimes. So, noticing if you get so into a thought that you feel like you have been swept away by it and there's not a sense of like watching it or witnessing it anymore, and really seeing if you can welcome that process and be kind and allowing of all of that. So we're just witnessing thoughts, noticing what the mind is doing, sitting back, allowing it to get swept away as it does, noticing that, and then coming back into the seat of the witness, back into the place of allowing and welcoming and noticing. So it's quite different than how maybe you've been trained to meditate before, where we're shutting thoughts out or we're trying to quiet the mind or focus on the breath. For this period of time, we're allowing the mind just to do what it wants to do and seeing if we can just watch it, observe it, witness it. So that's the invitation for the next couple of minutes, being with the mind just as it is. And if you do happen to feel swept away by a thought, story, judgment, whatever, the invitation is to use your breath. The breath is now. So just notice the breath bringing you back into the seat of the witness, the seat of conscious awareness, welcoming it all. And now for this last very short amount of time, minute, a little over a minute, seeing if you can open up your awareness to whatever is moving through your awareness, whether it's emotions or sensations in your body or thoughts or sounds, really seeing if you can just expand your awareness to all that is moving through your consciousness and seeing if you can stay in the seat of witness, allowing and welcoming, using the breath as you need to stay connected to the now, but really just allowing your whole experience to be as it is. It's actually could be quite easeful because you're not having to fix or change or think about or address. It's just like whatever's here is totally okay. All of it's welcome. So, practicing together in that way for the next little bit here. Noticing what it feels like to just be in this space of open awareness with the intention of total allowing, complete welcoming. And seeing if today, maybe each day, when you notice aversion or pushing away or contraction, seeing if you can tap into this practice of curiosity or invitation, moving towards something that initially you find yourself pushing away from, noticing its nuances in your body, noticing the way the mind wants to maybe make someone else wrong, to contract against something, and just seeing if with gentle, loving awareness, if you can, even just for a few moments, let something be as it is. Let it just be as it is, meeting it with a little more open heartedness, a little more gentleness, and watching how when you meet things in this way, my experience is that oftentimes they transform on their own. Not always, but nothing ever stays the same forever. That's that is a universal truth. And whenever I allow myself to just be in an emotion and I let the story go, story is perpetuating things, right? So it's not that I'm pushing away my mind, I'm noticing if there's a story. I'm seeing if I can let the thoughts be as they are, but not be so attached to them. Rather, if I can drop into my body, into the sensation of what I'm feeling, let that be as it is. Maybe tears come up. Maybe I need to yell in my car if there's rage. Meeting yourself and giving yourself what you need once you've allowed things to be as they are can really transform everything. So, bringing the meditation to a close, when a few minutes over for those of you that need to get back to something is 12:49. For those of you that can stay, inviting us into 3 ohms, feeling the vibration of the sound in your body, connecting you more deeply to your own being. Breathing in. Om. 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 May the fruits of our practice spread outwards in all directions and help to end the suffering of all beings everywhere. Bow to each one of you. Thank you for coming. Thank you for being present. Thank you for having the attention and intention to allow yourself to be exactly as you are today.